Okay, let's do this. Yeah, hey Mike. I'm good. I'm good. We're getting ready to go on in about 30 seconds here. No, it's a little loud. Yeah. Yeah, take it down a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. Yeah, I can control it a little bit from this end. Okay, here we go. Okay. Welcome back to The Reality Check with Charles Butler. We are streaming live at redstatetalkradio.com, and we are going to have a great chat today, an interesting topic, and an interesting guest, Mr. Michael Letts. Mr. Letts has a company, an organization that provides bulletproof vests for police officers. Mr. Letts, I would recommend that you get to Chicago. They got those old bulky vests that look like the Vietnam era bulletproof vests. I don't think they're very effective, but what do I know? Yep. Yeah. So look, I see these guys sitting in these cars with these big vests on. I'm going, I understand they need to wear vests on duty, but it seems like Chicago's so screwed up, man. It's one of these places where how can I say this? The money spent on G&A, the money spent on salaries, the money spent, we had this money that was supposed to be taken in for the what do you call those things? The lottery, and the money's supposed to go to the schools, right? Well, that's the last place the money's gone. Okay, it's gone into salaries, it's gone into pet projects for the politicians. Pet projects, things like that. And the people don't call these folks out. So, I guess, I had a different upbringing in that I always realized that politicians were there to do the good for the people. They weren't there to be praised, to be looked up to. I never looked up to John F. Kennedy. I never looked up to George Bush. I never looked up to Ronald Reagan. These were men, though, who were, they were servants of the people. But you have people like demagogues, like the Daley clan, and I call them a clan because that's what they are. The old man Daley said, "I looked at City Hall and I realized that's where the real gangsters are." I mean, he's quoted as saying that. He's quoted as saying, "Hey, your mic is a little tinny. You might want to get off the speakerphone and go, give you some bass." Mike, what we're going to talk about today is the shooting of Ashli Babbit. I am so angry that they let this guy off the hook. We know who he is. He's had problems before. She was the only one that was killed on July 6th, as far as I know. Am I right or wrong on that one? Well, yeah, it is hard to believe because there's no connection. You're going to tell me that one day you have a one day of a riot. I know guys who were in combat for years, and I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years. I'm talking about 3 or 4 years. Doing tours in Vietnam or in Iraq or in Somalia and these other places, and you're going to tell me that because these people ran it unarmed, by the way, unarmed. See, an insurrection. This is the thing about intelligence. Today, we have a country full of people who are ignorant as hell. And so, when you try to explain something as simple as an insurrection is an armed overthrow, an attempted armed overthrow of a government, they don't even get it. They can't process it. The head of the FBI was asked point blank, Director Ray, Mr. Ray, what do you think about the insurrection on January 6th? He said, well, it wasn't an insurrection. We categorize it as a domestic terrorist act. The next day, in all the papers, the insurrection of January 6th is classified as a domestic terrorist act by the director of the FBI. So who decides whether it's an insurrection or not? The media and these ignorant reporters, or the man who's responsible for defining and investigating and prosecuting the problem up on the hill. And this is the other thing about that problem on the hill that I'm gonna let you roll with it. There were 600,000 to 800,000 people on the hill, depending on who you talk to. 600,000 to 800,000. Nobody could have stopped those people from going in the building if they wanted to. I conclude, and I contend time and time again, and I've been to numerous Trump rallies. I've been around Trump people. I was a Trump person long before people were even supporting Trump. And I can tell you this specifically. How can I say this? I never have seen Trump or MAGA people wear their hats backwards. That's these little punks who think they're cool. These little left-wing punks who are emulating Trump people. We don't wear our hats backwards. We don't act out. When you leave a Trump rally, if it's 30 people, 30,000 people, 20,000 people, there's no trash on the grass. There's no trash to pick up. I mean, the people leave the park or the airport just like they found it. You leave something after Obama or Biden, it's trash everywhere. It's, the kids have stolen something, or they've just done something that, it's like if you have a Trump bumper sticker or a bumper sticker of a Republican on your car gets keyed. I've never thought about keying anybody's car because they had an O'Biden. I always say O'Biden because Biden is certainly driven by Obama. Anyway, run with it, man. Help us out here. Well, it's by design. It's not that the media all too well. The media are these people. Well, yeah, but think about it. That's been going on since Vietnam. We never lost a battle in Vietnam. Excuse me. I want to say that again. We never lost a battle in Vietnam. And we lost the PR. And these white liberal hippie socialist racist bastards cost us that war, cost us 55,000 people. These are nothing but cowards, anti-war protesters. And then Jimmy Carter comes in, and what's the first thing that Jimmy Carter does with his racist ass? He gives the war protesters and the draft deserters and the people who fled. He gives them amnesty. The next thing he does is he stops affirmative action. He takes all the goals and quotas out of hiring black men. And black men have been under, let me repeat this. Black men in the professions trying to get into Xerox and sales positions and things like that have always been underrepresented because of the lack of goals and quotas. People refuse to hire black men still, professional black men especially. So with that said, I always contend, Michael, that Democrats and liberals are the true racists. I'm going to say that. I'll stand by it. There's nobody who can really refute me on it, because Democrats have always been the party that didn't allow us to vote. Now people are so stupid. They go, well, George Wallace, he was a Republican. No, that's a damn lie. He was a damn Democrat. Let's back up. Ain't no Dixiecrat on the ballot. Okay. It's a Democrat. So that's the subterfuge. That's the technology, Oh, he's a Dixiecrat. We have a very prominent black radio talk show host, a guy named Joe Madison. He's on every day. He's on XM, and he's on Urban XM. And the guy is so effing dumb and so stupid. And and he thinks he's smart. See, that's the part that really gets you. He thinks he made a statement like this, and I had to record this shit. This is how bad it was. He made a statement like this as fact, and he tries to pass this bullshit off as facts to black folks, and black folks eat it up because it's right down their racist veneer. He says, well, the Dixiecrats were not really Democrats. They were Dixiecrats. So Joe, what were they? Were they Republicans running as Democrats? Is that what you're trying to say? You're trying to say that the Dixiecrats really did belong to the Democrat Party? He's a damn lie. They ran the Democrat Party. They sat on all of the committees from the time of Reconstruction to the 50s, to the 60s. The Southern Democrats controlled the committees in Congress that refused to allow blacks to participate in following the American dream. So was Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy had joined the Ku Klux Klan. People never talk about that, but I ran across that in my research. Ted Kennedy, when he was at UVA, joined the Ku Klux Klan. Well, his daddy was a racist. Joe Kennedy was an ardent racist. He hated Jews, he hated blacks, period. Well, it's what misinformation has done to America. And this is the thing that pisses me off, that I got to get done before I leave this earth. And that is black Americans and white Americans built this goddamn country. We built it from the ground up. We built it into the economic engine that it became in the 1860s, 70s, and right up through the automotive. White Democrats sold our asses out to the Japanese automotive industry first, put hundreds of thousands of black and white people out of jobs in the automotive industry. The automotive industry was our number one industry in this country, and Democrats destroyed it. They tried to until Trump stepped up. If it hadn't been for Trump, what was Barack Obama talking about? Well, we're managing the transition of a superpower from number one to number two. That's what happens in he's talking all this professorial bullshit. He needs my foot right in the back of his backside is what he needs. I can't stand Barack Obama. Well, we'll be holding on to each other, limping around, because Hey, but look, Ashley got shot. Ashley got shot, I feel, unjustly. She was not threatening. She just hopped through the window. How you gonna shoot somebody for hopping through a window when you got all these other people hopping through the window? Yeah, but she was the only one to die. And do you notice how they always skip over that? That she, they always say, well, other people they committed suicide. How do you tie that into? How do you tie that into that day and that incident, that riot? I mean, these people who are killing themselves already had issues of some type. But the bottom line is that officer needs. See, let me just step back for a second. I am a vehement opponent of qualified immunity. Okay. Why am I a vehement opponent of qualified immunity? Because the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that certain people in our society were not held accountable for their actions. I think that these people should ultimately always be held accountable for their actions. The law enforcement officials, policing powers, these people have no idea how the power of a policing power. The police and law enforcement are the only people in this country that can kill a person without due process. So when they say, well, go ahead. Right. And what qualified immunity does is it relieves these people of, I just guess, common sense thinking. I mean, I can see. Well, first of all, I don't think we should have women police on the street. That's taking of a good man's job. But we have men on the police force today who should not be on the police force. I look at some of these fat punks that are on the police force. They couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag, like the guy. I remember this guy about 3 months ago. He stopped this black man who was a lieutenant in the Army and took him out, handcuffed him, abused him, and said, well, if you tell on me, I'm going to arrest you again. All this is being recorded, right? so so the guy is busted, right? I mean, he gets busted for being what he is, but he's a fat slob who shouldn't be on the police. They sit around eating donuts all day, right? And these people hide behind qualified immunity. It has to stop. It's like the cop in I guess it was North Charleston, South Carolina, where this cop pulled a guy over for a broken tail light. The guy takes off running. The cop just casually pulls out his gun and shoots the guy in the back. Just casually pulls out his gun and just shoots the guy. Boom, 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 boom. Now, and so when people say, like, this Sean Hannity, Sean is such a joke. He's weak as far as I'm concerned intellectually. And so Sean says, well, without qualified immunity, the police can't do their job. Well, how in the hell did they do their job from 1820s to 1992 when qualified immunity was created? Oh, man. But it just really ticks me off that this officer is getting off with shooting this woman who stepped through a window. He could have shot anybody. How come he just shot? Why did he stop at shooting her? There were other people coming through the window. Well, maybe she's putting her home down there. You know Nancy. Nancy takes care of Nancy, baby. She has gotten. I saw this piece this weekend where she and her friends, you paid $30,000 to attend this event. The only people that had on masks were the little brown people running around serving them. Everybody else was sitting there, eating their $30,000 meal, and Nancy was up front talking. And I'm like, you know what? But you know what, man? This is the honest to God truth. I have just never liked Democrats. I just never liked them, especially white Democrats. Now, black Democrats, I think, are the stupidest people in the world. Okay. Well, they're just stupid. I mean, how can your party be in charge of, let's just say, every major city in America, the top 10 cities in America? You have the worst neighborhoods. You have the worst schools. You have the lowest employment opportunities. You have the lowest access to business opportunities and to city contracts all the time while you pay the same damn taxes. So I run into, and this is what I say about some blacks. This is how dumb they are. I go, well, why are the schools so poor in your neighborhood? They said, well, in other neighborhoods, they pay more taxes. That doesn't have a damn thing to do with the quality of your school and your neighborhood in a school system like CPS, Chicago Public Schools. Doesn't make any difference where your school is located. The money's all in a pot. Anyway, man. So what do you think about this? What's going to happen to this? What's happening with this shooting? Is anybody else following up on it? Hello? Hello? Hold on. They say they can't hear you. Hold on. What is going on? Hold on.